Good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope everyone's doing great and having a great week this week so far. Tonight, we're going to go all into networking with agencies and other government contractors, more importantly, prime contractors. And so, I have a question for everybody. How many of you have wondered what to do at a networking event, how to get started, any of that? If you've always wondered that, you know, drop a question mark into the chat. I'd love to see who kind of wondered how to go about doing all that. Tonight, we're going to be going through a little bit, some tips and tricks that I use to help with networking for matchmaking events, industry days, and those type of things. If you don't know me, my name is Billy Welchman. I am the CEO of Core Solutions Group, where we help our clients do more with less in administrative services, IT solutions, and navigating government contracting. And tonight is all about the government contracting. So if you're watching this, please put, say hi in the chat. Love to see who's on watching. If you're watching the replay, please put replay. And thank you again for joining me. So let's just dive into it, shall we? All right. So really, it's all about strategy when you're networking with government agencies and contractors. And so there's a lot of key important things that you need to know. But one is, why are we networking or going to matchmaking events? Why are they so important? So it's building those connections. It is that face-to-face time or screen-to-screen, because some of them are virtual, and that's okay. But what that is it's getting you in front of your target agencies, in front of other companies, and in front of prime contractors to help in this arena. And the big thing is people do business with people they know, like, and trust. This is across the board with government agencies, prime contractors, and other companies. And so getting yourself out there and networking, building those connections is key. And to start that is going to these networking events, these matchmaking events. And you want to strategize for these too. You don't just want to show up at all of them and try and hit whatever you can just to see what hits. I know it's tempting in the beginning. I know I've done that myself. It's like, I'm going to hit them all because I want to hit them all. And while it was beneficial to a degree, it didn't, the strategy wasn't really there. And so I've got some great connections, but some of them don't line up with what I do. And so that kind of be a kind of a struggle, especially when you're looking at some of these contracts that you're looking and you're like, well, I can't do this, but hey, I know somebody else can. And so it does help that piece of it, but you really want to line up with what you do, who your target is. So there's kind of 4 key steps to networking success. So be strategic about your event planning. Okay, so look for events that will benefit you. So you're looking for, who is your target agency? Who are the prime contractors in that event? Is it a large event or is it a smaller, more intimate event? Is it local or is it could be up in DC? I know there's a lot of events in the DC. There's some in Alabama, Atlanta. Kind of those bigger events are up in those areas, and so you got to think about travel and all that. You really want to make sure you are narrowing down what you're really looking for. And the prime contractors there. So not all prime contractors are the ones you want to hit. You want to make sure you're targeting those ones that there's a mutual beneficial relationship there. And the biggest thing is you're trying to make connections. Okay, so a lot of these you do want to register early with, because some fill up fast, and they also give discounts if you sign up early. So try and be early to some of those as well when you're registering. And so the goal of these events is to educate yourself and, again, make those connections. Do your research on these agencies and these prime contractors before you show up. A lot of these events will post who's coming to the event, whether it's a government agency or a prime contractor. Find out if it's one of your targets. If it's not, still do some research. And I found that sometimes they'll have stuff on there that I didn't even think that I could help support them with. And so again, you want to do a little bit of research on those. And let's see, elevator pitch. Okay, doing your elevator pitch is key. You want to make sure you get that perfected before you show up to these events, and leave them wanting more. So you give them, think about when you're riding up in an elevator to that second floor. You only have a few minutes to give them information about who you are, what you do, and who your customer is. And you want to make sure you target that in as short amount of time as possible and leave them coming back and wanting more. Okay, let's see. And then the follow-up. You always want to follow up post-event for anybody that you made contact with, whether it's sending them, a quick message, a LinkedIn message, an email, anything to help build that connection and remind them. And another key point is don't just do it once. Continue to do it. Put it in your CRM or a to-do list to contact them every few months. Just to remind them who you are, what you do, and to inquire, because if you've done your research, you should know some of the things that are going to be coming out, or if there's contracts out there that you can be looking for. You can start building those relationships early and fostering them too, because it's not all about just that one and done. It's continuous. So how do you find networking and matchmaking events? So biggest thing is ask. Ask potential teaming partners. These can be other businesses that have been in the government contracting realm. The contracting officers, they might be able to tell you, the OSDBU as well, the Office of Small Disadvantaged Business Utilization. They're there as a resource too, and they can help tell you when some of these events are. Your local PTAC, or they're now called Apex Accelerators. Other small business reps as well. So ask. Find out if they know of any events. Google is your best friend. So you can do a Google search, just Google government networking events, but you want to narrow it down to either your target agency or your industry, and you can also narrow it down to your area. But Google search is great for that. You just government networking, plug it in, or matchmaking events, any of those. Agency websites. So register on some of these agency websites. I know NASA, you can register on their website, and they do different events. They do a bi-weekly, I think it's a bi-weekly event that they do. Other matchmaking events as well. I have started finding them on Eventbrite too. Excuse me. So some of these agencies are on Eventbrite, and you can start seeing some of those come through. SAM.gov is start searching the industry days. You can find a lot of industries out there in your area that way as well. So those are some of the tips and tricks on that. For more great tips and tricks, you can also check out SheGov Savvy Facebook page. Every Thursday right now we are posting 5 tips every Thursday on how to do matchmaking and networking events and some fun things. That's where some of this stuff came from. So here are a couple events that are actually coming up right now. Is the National 8A or Small Business Conference. Usually happens about every January, February time frame. And it's going on actually this week. The other one is the National Hub Zone. That's usually around late August, early September. The NVS BC Vets, that one's going to be in May in Orlando. This other one's called RES, it's Tribal Conference, March, April time frame. The last one I believe was in Las Vegas. There's the Small Business, they call it SAMI. I couldn't tell you right off the top of my head what that acronym means. However, that's another one you can attend as well. Here in Tampa area, they have Soft Week coming up in May, and there's different kind of government procurement conferences. Oh, another one you can look on is LinkedIn. If you're connected with some of these other companies, agencies, they'll post them on LinkedIn as well. So a couple tips and tricks on networking. Thank you for joining me this evening. And again, if you're watching this replay, please put replay in the chat. Love to see who's watching. And we'll see you next week for more information on government contracting, and also on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. as well. We do process optimization and data management. Thanks again, and have a good evening. See you later.